Lee, before we look ahead to this really important fixture of the weekend, can I just ask you, what's it like from a player's perspective when we come to transfer deadline day? And have you sort of in terms of the talk around the dressing room in the sort of coming weeks, not just at Tranmere, but your general sort of your general association with events on transfer deadline time?
Yeah, it's a strange kind of day, especially. Nothing can happen, but then a lot of things can happen as well, and they can be last minute. So it's just you just have to be kind of prepared for anything. But I think we've got a really good squad at the minute, so I think we're all happy to be here.
Can it be kind of unsettling from a player's point of view when, sometimes you might get a call from your agent to say, well, apparently clubs A, B and C are interested, but this club wants to keep you. What do you think? And when you want to be focused purely on the football side of things, when you're talking about your career, you're a professional footballer, and you have to be, I don't know, a little bit selfish, don't you?
Yeah, you do, and that does happen. Of course, it does, and it takes getting used to at the start when you come into it, but it's part and parcel of football. You have deadline days, and they're hectic, but you just have to deal with it as best as you can.
Tranmere have got a really good squad. We'll find out by later on today in terms of movement and come-ins and go-ins, but you look really well positioned, even though numerically you're still near the lower reaches. The points difference now between Tranmere and the relegation zone, and the points difference between Tranmere and the playoff positions, you're not that far away now.
Yeah, of course, that was always the aim. Of course, we weren't and still aren't where we want to be, but we're starting to look up now. We're not looking behind as much. So if we can string another few wins together, we can really start looking at the teams above us and try and catch them.
And the win at Grimsby last weekend, vitally important. They all are. But when that fabulous period over Christmas and all those consecutive victories, and then just slightly going off the boil, at least in terms of results, when you re-establish those, that winning habit, there's a good feeling and a good vibe about it.
Yeah, of course, and especially away. I mean, it's well known we've struggled away, but in recent times I think we've done really well. And I thought Saturday was a proper away performance. It was gritty. Everyone worked hard. We had to defend a lot. We had to put our bodies on the line. We had to do everything, and I thought it was a really good away performance and deserved the 3 points.
It must be really rewarding now to know that you can go away and put in the sort of performances, no matter who the opposition are, that gets some points on the board after such a long time with some really poor results.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, especially even the last two, they're tough places to go. Grimsby is a really tough place to go. We had a tough time there last year, so it was nice to be able to put that right this year. And then Harrogate, another tough place to go. So it is tough to get points away from home in this league, but I think we're starting to put performance together that are worthy of them 3 points.
Do you have your own feelings as to why the performances and results in general have improved, and in particular away from home?
I don't. There's a bit of luck that comes into it. I think we just weren't getting the rub of the green at the start of the season. But again, there was some performances that weren't good enough, and since the manager has come in, he's nailed on what he's want from us. I think we're getting better every week under him. So it's just we're a team, and we're improving every day.
There's a funny kind of giving in football that you mentioned luck there, and it's incredible. The higher up the table you are, the luckier you seem to be, and the nearer the bottom you are, the unlucky you seem to be. And people look at that and say, well, it can't really be, but there's more than a grain of truth to it.
Yeah, there is. You have to try and take it out of it and just play and try and get the performances. But obviously, if you get a bit of luck, like we did even on Saturday, we got the own goal, which maybe a few weeks ago it would have just knocked wide or would have hit the post or something. But thankfully, it went in, and it helped us to get the 3 points.
Real test, as you mentioned at Grimsby, direct and physical. This game against Crewe at Prenton Park, the standard of opposition and the style of play, very different.
Yeah, it is. It's like that most weeks. To be fair, you don't get two teams that are very similar. But no, Crewe are a really good team. We've watched stuff on them. They're a good side, and you can see that from where they are in the league. They're having a really good season, so it'll be a good test from us, and especially considering how bad of a day I would say it was at their place early in the season. It's a chance for us to kind of show how far we've come since that game.
Yeah, and Crewe, they've had their ups and downs in recent years, but they've always had a footballing tradition about them.
Yeah, they have, and they're a really good team. Like I keep saying, I'm not sure where they are in the league. Are they fifth, fourth? They're up there anyway. You don't get up there by being a bad team. They're a really good team, having a really good season. So it'll be a good test for us.
Tranmere have had some great results this season at Prenton Park against teams in and around the top of the table. So there must be an extra zip and zest going into these games for you guys.
Yeah, of course. There always is when you play at Prenton Park. Ever since I've been there, the home games are always special. We always seem to play our best stuff at home. So hopefully we can just bring that again come Saturday.
The fans bring the atmosphere, the fabulous, the Super White Army, but they're demanding as well. They
are, but that's a part of it. You come to a club like Tranmere, there are certain demands, and I don't even think they're football demands. I think it's more as long as the fans see you working hard and giving your all, that's all. They'll get behind you if you do that. Because
if your personal form is not up to the required level as far as your own concern, there's no hiding place on a football pitch, is there?
No, there's definitely not. But that's it. I think we're a team now. So even if one person is maybe struggling on a day, we can pull each other through it. I think we're working for each other, and we're as I keep saying, I just feel like we're getting better as a team every week.
And how would you assess your form this season? You've been a regular in the first team, playing mostly at right back this season. You can play in midfield, and having that sort of ability and variation can be a really good thing. I know you had an injury problem early on, but how would you look at your own input this campaign so far?
No, I think it's been good. As you said, I've had a few. It's probably the most injuries I've had in 1 year. It's been a bit stop-start, but I'm looking now just to get another run, and as long as we're winning, I don't care how I'm playing as long as we're winning. So that's all I'm worried about.
Great to have the trust of the manager, though. Every manager that you ever played for, but this manager has got a footballing pedigree as long as your arm.
Yeah, he does, and you can see why. He's got us playing some good stuff. He's got us organised, and for him to trust me and to trust all of us, it's a really good feeling.
It's an enjoyable place to be these days, isn't it? And I think if you're playing for a team and the results are going well, that's always the case. But I think there's something even outside the results-based side of things, that because you've got somebody with that sort of experience, it can educate you footballing wise. Yeah,
it can. I mean, as you said, it is easy when you're winning, but I think the atmosphere around here, the training ground now, it's a joy to come to work every day. I mean, at the start of the season, I'm not saying it wasn't a joy or anything like that, but we were struggling, so everyone is a bit down and stuff like that. But I think now the atmosphere around the camp is really top notch.
Can I just ask you, recently, a couple of weeks ago, the game at Swindon was called off on the Friday. That causes a bit of a chaos, I think, for people in and around football, reporters and people who work for the club. What's it like for a player when games are called off the day before, particularly if it's an away game? Obviously, you've been preparing for the match, but do you look at it and think, well, I've got a chance of a weekend with the family? How did you spend your time?
I didn't really do anything, really, because it was a bit too late to get anything done. I think the only good thing was we got told before we actually were down there. So I think we were on the training pitch when it got called off. So we were preparing as a game for normal. So it was just, obviously I think everyone knew there was a chance it could have been off with the weather and stuff, but you can't kind of afford to think like that. You just have to prepare for the game.
Yeah, and what would you do? Would you sort of have an opportunity to go out for dinner on the Friday night instead, or do you just go home and put your feet up and maybe Saturday afternoon listen to the radio, go to the cinema? What do you do?
Not much really. I've not got anything exciting to tell you. It was more just, you don't get many weekends off or stuff like that, so it is a chance to let you've got little knocks, little niggles, as a chance to kind of heal up for a few days and just come back in Monday, and then we're straight back to the next game. Yeah,
because it's hard once the season starts, and I know you've had some injuries in any case. Nobody is 100% fit, are they?
No, absolutely not. You'll struggle to get many games in a season where you're 100% fit. So when you get a game called off, although it's going to be put in some Tuesday, it is an opportunity for you to just have a little rest and get another 2-3% better.